Trust me, I say this justly. I went from musty to musky, and y'all can't mush me. I warn y'all hornballs, I hush puppies. The swans in the pond called my duck ugly, but now they hug me because it's lovely. They love the aroma of the world. Got the shakers and the skaters and the players and the girls. Keep the fakers and the flakers and the haters in the twirl. You want the fun, hey, I got ya. You want the realness? Well, I got ya. I know you're sick of them niggas, big current watch ya. Either they pimps or they max or they monsters. You want the real shit? Well, I got ya. You see my niggas here, you know we proper, you know we do it right, you know we. Trust me, I say this justly. I went from musty to musky, and y'all can't mush me. I warn y'all hornballs, I hush puppies. The swans in the pond called my duck ugly, but now they hug me because it's lovely. They love the aroma of the world. Got the shakers and the skaters and the players and the girls. Keep the fakers and the flakers and the haters in the twirl. You want the fun, hey, I got ya. You want the realness? Well, I got ya. I know you're sick of them niggas, big current watch ya. Either they pimps or they max or they monsters. You want the real shit? Well, I got ya. You see my niggas here, you know we proper, you know we do it right, you know we.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us on a Wednesday to talk horror. Well, what we thought was going to be some horror. We thought it. I was trying to kick off spooky season with the front room, support our girl Brandy. We've been down with Brandy since Moesha, even before that. And, some of y'all really like A24. So I said, yeah, let's kick off spooky season. You'll be getting a lot of horror content from me, by the way, in the form of Slice of Horror. So welcome. But needless to say, this movie was this was something that was unexpected. If that's a word we could use to kind of be ambiguous, this was an unexpected movie. You know what? Let's bring out Dom, because he just went to see this movie yesterday. And Dom, how did you feel about your girl Brandy in this movie?
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? This is fresh in my mind, and I wish it wasn't. It's also stale in my mind, because this movie was unexpected is the word. Unexpected is the word, because I thought I knew what we were getting into when we sat down, and then the more this movie went on, the more I was like, "What am I watching?" And then that continued into the end of the movie. I was like, "What did I just watch?" So that's the part where.
I think we all said, "What are we watching at this point? What are we watching, and who is this for?" Ashley, who is this for?
Nobody. Somebody with some weird kinks and fetishes. Like, this is not for a sane person to enjoy at all. This was abhorrent. It was disgusting. This was something I wish I had never laid eyes on. Like, this is probably one of the worst things I feel like I've watched in years. Like, with no point. So you give us all of this nastiness, and there's nothing compelling. There's no story. There's no real resolution. We asked each other, like, what did we just watch? Like,
you know what? Let's act struggle, because she be struggling anyway to like anything. Who is this for?
It wasn't for me, okay? I just wanted to know if Brandy was, going through something. It just gave desperation to be there. Like, why? Why would you be here? Nobody in their right mind should sign up for that mess. Like, I just felt degrading to see her in this role, and I was disturbed for her. It was hilarious. Now what they should have did was market this as a comedy. Okay, this was in no way a horror. Damn sure wasn't a thriller. It was nothing. It was some horrific things, but there was comedy here. This should have been a dark comedy. If they would have done that, this could have been a whole different conversation. The fact that somebody legit greenlit this as a horror film with a leading black woman. A24 pissed me off, because I know you talking about some of y'all, I'm one of them. Some of y'all's. I love me some A24. Soon as we get to the black woman, we gave her this. We gave the sister this. Poor Brandy. Poor Moesha. Poor Moesha. I want better for her. I really do.
You know, let me just say this. We were rooting for you. We were rooting for you. I wanted her to win. I was looking forward to this movie. I wanted this to be a thing because we know there weren't many black final girls and she was one of them. So I'm like, come on back to the horror genre and give us some more of what we need. And she failed us. And we gonna talk about it because we got some thoughts, and then but then not a lot of thoughts, but some thoughts. Before we start, I want to shout out to TP for going and becoming members on all of our channels. Thank you so much, TP, for doing that. You won't regret it. This is going to be fun. We got some fun stuff going. And when you get us in this community, I promise you, you're going to enjoy it. And shout out to another person who joined my channel. Quamisha joined yesterday. So shout out to the channel members. If you all see our channel links in the chat, please click them and join them. There are certain content that is going to have to be behind the paywall, but we have some fun stuff to bring you. You are going to get us raw, unfiltered, and a whole bunch of other foolishness that is not going to be for the public. You have to access only. If you are here, shout out to the 50 plus people in the chat already. Before we get started, hit like and subscribe on everyone's channels. I am this close to my 1,000 subs. Ashley is this close to her 5K. Tyra is this close to her 27K. And Tom is this close to his 500K, so he can get them supers. He can get the memberships. Y'all get him. He is less than
500K. That's a word. That was high.
Speaking it to existence. I'm taking
it. So yes, like, subscribe, everybody's channel. Hit us with them supers. Enjoy the conversation. This is probably going to be a lot of fun. This was supposed to be a horror movie, but I promise y'all we laughed more than we was afraid. I didn't feel any fear in my eyes or my heart or anything. But what I did get was some chuckles. So let's talk about the front room. A20. You know, before we even talk about this movie, you know, I have to talk about something that don't have to do with the movie at all, because that's the way that my ADHD brain works. Okay, we just gonna go off script some of these times, and I love a good would you rather. I'm going to go to Ashley first because I already know this answer from Dom, so I'm skipping him on this one. Ashley, would you rather listen to Brandy or Monica? Which one? Growing up, which one was you?
Maybe
Brandy.
This is easy. This is easy. Now, however, I felt for Brandy in this movie is completely separate because she is the vocal Bible. Like Brandy sings down. Do you hear me? So it's Brandy all day. Like I can listen to her all day. Like her. If we ever get an opportunity to get into music, she is literally her. Like she paved the way, laid the groundwork. Her voice is incredible, top to bottom to middle. Like her register, like everything about her tone is amazing. It's Brandy for me all day, forever.
Okay, forever. Okay. Chat, who y'all got? Brandy or Monica? TP. Brandy. Who y'all got? Brandy or Monica? Brandy. Okay. Dang, I thought y'all was trying to go for, you know,
we ain't going for the thing. We staying over there with Brandy. Love Monica, love her now, but Brandy is something different. Brandy all day long.
I thought you know what? I thought y'all was gonna skip right on over Brandy after this movie.
Quamisha said Monica down there. I see.
Oh, okay. We got a Monica. Okay. Somebody represent for the Dirty South. I'm here. Let somebody. Okay, we got some Dane. You know,
thanks, man. Don't even ask me that.
The resident troll. Tyra, if you were trapped,
oh Lord,
would you rather be trapped in a haunted maze or a haunted hospital? If you had to pick one, and you would look, you can't get out. There's people out there. We in the maze or we in the hospital?
Why the hell would I want to be in a maze? I got a better chance. You know, at least if I find a decent exit, I can get out the hospital. If I'm in a maze, I'm stuck. If it's haunted, that means it's probably dark. I don't got time to be trying to find my way out of a maze. No. I'm just thinking about Jack Torrance walking around The Shining. Absolutely not. I'm gonna go to that haunted hospital and make my way towards some double doors. No.
See, I would be thinking that I wouldn't want to be because it might be a lot of paranormal activity in the hospital. Oftentimes, we don't see the ghosts come outside. Okay,
They
the ghosts
both
don't be
hunted.
outside.
Okay. They both hunted though.
I mean, but if you get in the corner of that maze and you hide, you might be straight. I don't think I want to be in the hospital.
You always
I don't
wanna
want
hide.
nothing popping.
You and Ashley y'all love playing hide in horror film. The people who hide, they die first. I told
No,
you.
baby, I'm climbing up out the maze. We gonna go through the maze because the hospital, you don't know who these patients or inmates are in this hospital. I feel like in the maze, if it's just me and some ghosts, I can deal with that. The hospital.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I feel like I got a better chance of surviving in the maze because I feel like if you in a hospital, it's gonna be all types of spirits and demons trying to snatch you and keep you in there. People gonna be trying to hurt. I feel like if I just get in the dark corner of the maze, if I could survive.
Well, why put
morning,
haunted maze on there? What's in the haunted maze then? What's
okay,
there?
see, the thing that might be haunted is that if it's outside of somewhere like the Overlook Hotel, like if you outside of a haunted house, or if it's like, werewolves or a psycho killer, like if you got Ghostface running around out
We
there,
should have put that in parentheses.
y'all be always asking for extra detail.
I need more detail. You ain't say all that.
Dom, if it was Halloween night
Mhm.
and someone had a wand to transform you into one of these monsters, are we picking vampire or witch, warlock? Which one? We want powers or
Mhm.
we want immortal life?
Let me tell you something. If I'm picking vampire, I'm definitely picking vampire because if you become a witch, yeah, it sounds great. If you become a witch or warlock, you have magical powers, it sounds great. But you just gotta go to school. Like you gotta learn these spells, you gotta learn these rituals. Depending on what kind of witch you are, you gotta get materials. Like I gotta get ingredients for stuff. It's extra work. I still gotta go to grad school to be a good witch. You know what I'm saying? With a vampire, all I gotta do is learn self-control. And once I get self-control, then shoot, I'm gonna live forever. And I'm good with that.
Dom always come with another point of view that I would have never thought of. He talking about you still got to go to school. At this
You ain't never seen a witch in media that didn't have to learn something. You know what I'm saying? Every time they don't go learn something, they messing stuff up. They breaking windows and hurting people they love. You got to go to some sort of academy learning. You need a mentor. You need something.
See,
you need Hogwarts. I need to go to FAFSA. I need FAFSA because I gotta get these books. I'm not rich like Harry. I gotta fill out forms. I ain't got it like that. Just come give me vampirism and give me a immortal life. Now I'm good.
Dom, you made seeming like being a witch seeming much harder than what I thought in my mind. I thought I was just gonna go outside and call the corners. Now I got to go to school and get a degree in wizardry. I was not prepared.
Not Leviosa. Like that distinction alone makes me think vampire.
I am not fooling with you. I can't. Oh my goodness. Ashley, now this is a very, very important question, okay?
Mhm.
90s TV sitcoms. I know this is your jam.
Mhm.
You gotta choose between Moesha and Sister. We picking Brandy or Tia and Tamara. Who's coming out on top?
There's no competition for okay, so here's the thing. Sister was cute, and I'm here for Jackie Sandra. I love her down really, really bad, but it's gonna be Moesha for me. Moesha was more relevant. I love Kim down. That was more my dynamic. See, Tia and Tamara were very
Palatable.
yeah, you know what I mean? And Moesha, I was like, it felt so West. You know what I mean? I'm in LA. I'm with my girls. We're at the coffee shop / whatever. Moesha.
You know what? Absolutely, Moesha did have all the. I ain't even gonna hold you with that. She definitely had all the fine dudes. She had Merlin Santana, Usher. She had
Didn't Tyrese show up?
He and Kobe
Me
Bryant.
and Hakeem was
Yeah.
there. Hakeem was the mainstay. So I mean,
He was there.
Sit down at
You
the theme
was
song.
there. We had the CPQ band where we could get our groove on. Like, what is you saying?
He's a player.
What? He's a player. He's a player now. I know. He was going to the den. What are you talking about?
Okay, look, see, I see, and in the chat we got some. You know what is it?
White bread. All right.
It's all, it ain't alive if we don't have one troll, and that is usually
Dang,
Dave. We need it every single time.
We need that.
Yes, in the chat, let us know. Mo to the E to the or sister. Come on.
Ow!
I missed you.
Come on, just off the theme song alone, okay? Moesha came hard with the theme song.
Nah. Sister had a better theme song.
No, not until the last season when they was in college and they slowed
Yeah,
the
the college years. Yeah. That's the only
Okay.
one.
The remix. All right.
They dropped the beat just a little bit and slowed it down, and then the theme song became.
That's when they got blessed because they got Black on the show, and it was all of a sudden it was sister.
In my own thing, in my own time. But yeah, that came way later.
And they went to U of M. That was good. This is one of the few shows where they went to college and it stayed just as good. So I could, they're just saying.
But see, back in the 90s, people went to college. Moesha went to college. They went to college on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They went to college on Family Matters. Back in the day, they let you Boy Meets World. They let you finish high school, graduate, and go to college, and we still got to see a little bit of your life back then.
Yeah, but not all was good. Like who was with Screech when they went to college? It went
not Screech, not the whites. Don't bring that up in here. We wouldn't check it for them college years at all.
Now, one more question for everybody before we move it right on along. And Tyra, I'm gonna start with you because I already know your answer with this. If we're picking out a horror movie and we had to pick which one would scare us the most or which one we would rather see on screen, is it the creepy old people that I need to see in the movie, or is it the creepy kids in the movie?
After this movie, I don't want to see none of the geriatric. I don't want to feel people. I don't want to see that. Normally it'll be them because I can't stand a creepy dark-haired kid. Like, get out of my face. Stop being a repeat offender of the creepy dark-haired kid in a horror movie. I hate that. But after this film, keep that away from me. If you are over 60, I don't want to see you. I'm sorry. I want to see you.
I can't do it. Dom, creepy old people in the movie or creepy kids?
Yeah, after this movie, it made me think that creepy old people are kind of always disgusting. Like, not in general. Like, old people are fine, but just like in movies, it makes me think of like The Visit and those old people, and that movie was kind of disgusting. Not as much as this movie, but it was kind of uneasy. Like, it was less scary and more unsettling because I didn't want to look at this. And so, give me the creepy kids. Especially if they don't have any lines. Like, don't give me a child actor because they are horrible. But give me a creepy kid that's just gonna stare blankly in the corner and get one good scary line. That'll creep me out.
But see, this is the difference in a horror. This is my thinking. In most horror movies, the creepy kids is what's gonna take you out. The creepy old people are the ones that's going to give you advice to help you get out the situation to get away from the creepy kid. Ashley, who you got, creepy old people or creepy kids?
And this is just what to watch in a movie, right? Not like who we'd go up against. Okay, I don't know.
No.
So this, growing up with like The Good Son and like movies like that, what was it? They had the Dolls movies. They had all kinds of crazy, creepy kids movies growing up. I'm gonna stick with the kids. I want the old actors to be able to work, but this movie disgusted me. Because all I kept thinking, like, get a home health aide and you wouldn't have to deal with any of this. Like, put her in a home, get her own private nurse, and maybe we could avoid some of this. But as far as entertainment value, I think creepier kids are scary. Creepy kids are scarier to me than creepy old people.
Even after this movie?
She wasn't scary.
Uh,
She was Gollum. Y'all see it?
That
Y'all
piss
see?
was terrifying. That piss was terrifying.
She was Gollum.
Those feces scared the day left out of me. Girl, that's old people squat is something special. Girl, don't put that on me. Girl, please.
It was all on her neck. It was
Ugh.
Now, before we get into the movie, this is an A24 movie, which for some people, they was just like, oh, yeah, I got to see that. And now me, I know A24 makes some weird ass stuff. Okay. So I was just like, I don't think Brandy will do a weird role because I ain't really seen her do no crazy stuff yet. So I didn't think that they was going to turn it up the way that they did. But A24 is a hit or miss for me. I liked Hereditary and I liked Uncut Gems. Tyra, you're a fan of A24. What's some of your favorite A24 movies? And why do you like A24?
Because like visually, I don't know what happened with this film. I don't know what happened with this film, but normally I can count on A24 from like a production standpoint and visually to give me something beautiful, something that I've never seen, and it's going to be shot in a way that just amazes me. And I'm like, wow. So if they can get that and in combination give me a really, good script, and good is, subjective. But A24 movies make you think. It gives you originality. Like I don't want to say, the pretentious type of horror movies, because they have more than that. Like you have Moonlight and Hereditary here. And I like movies like Lady Bird. I like The Whale. I like, their deeper reflective type of movies. But everything's not gonna be gold, okay? Everything is not gonna be gold. Sometimes we're gonna miss, but normally for me, they hit more than they miss, which is why I was like, what? This is the most they've ever missed to me. It's crazy. Terrible.
Dom, do you like the production company A24? And if so, what movies?
Of course I do. I'm a big fan of the classics, Ex Machina. Midsummer was cool. It's not something that I revisited, but when I watched it was cool. It was just a weird movie.
Under the Skin.
Under the Skin, The Green Knight, A Most Violent Year. Moonlight. I love A24 movies, but we got to remember that A24 is over a decade in. And with any production company, whether it's Warner Brothers, whether it's Lionsgate, if you look at the slate of movies they release in a year, not all of them are going to hit. Some of them are going to be like, they made that? This is horrible. But because A24 has built up such a reputation when they put out a bad movie, not because they put out so many movies. It used to be a time where they would put out a movie a year, and it was an event. But now they put out like 4 or 5 movies a year, like that Zola movie, the Road Trip movie. Like, they just put out so many movies a year that, not all of them going to hit, and not all of them are for me. That's the other thing. It's like, I'm a high concept sci-fi person. That's what Ex Machina was so good. A24 sells some of their movies, like the scripts. They'll make a hardcover coffee book of the scripts for the movie, and I bought it like $60. I bought it for Ex Machina, bought it for Moon Knight, The Witch. But not everyone's for me. And this one definitely wasn't for me.
Yeah, don't do that, Kay. Have you watched Past Lives? Past Lives is really good. The Korean trauma type of good film. A24 did that. Past Lives. Go watch
it. They be turning me away. Ashley, are you a fan of A24? And if so, which movies?
I can't say I'm like a huge fan. There was one that I saw a couple years ago. It was on Apple TV. Called Sharper, and I really, really enjoyed that with Julianne Moore and Justice Smith.
Okay, I like that. I did like that one.
It was really good.
I'm gonna give it to him when I give it to him. I like Sharper.
That's probably the standout for me from them.
And that the movie that got Denzel his Oscar, A24 movie, the tragedy, his most recent Oscar, okay. The Tragedy of Macbeth, A24 movie.
Mm-hmm. The Iron Claw, they're just throwing them out. They just come out. Kay, because they're there. There's gems there. There's uncut gems there, Kay. They're
Infinity Pool pissed me all the way off. I wish I could get my brain cells back. If I could rewind the time that I spent to watch this movie, I would probably do that if I could, because I wish I would have never seen that. I take it back. Take it all the way back. I never finished Midsummer. I tried. I'm gonna try to revisit it. Y'all be saying it's good. At this point, the way y'all be talking about Midsummer with
you can let the summer go. You can let it go. But
I gave it a good old college try.
The Last Black Man in San Francisco is an A24 movie. I like that.
Wonderful movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, I tried. Every time I try to, I get my my hopes up for them and say maybe this is the thing that'll get me to want to see them. But between this and X, y'all, I'm side eyeing A24 right.
And Waves
now.
was A24, right?
It was.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. Well, I mean,
a sprinkle of things.
Everything, everywhere, all at once was A24. Like, and you know, everybody doesn't love that film, but you know, it was a moment. They got some stuff over there.
It got one watch out.
It Comes at Night. I like that one.
Yes.
Yeah, it got one watch out of me. I just y'all put in the chat if you are fans of A24 and their production, and if so, what movies do you like? Some people they be trying to get me to watch, Midsummer. I couldn't finish it. Before we move along, for those who may be new to my channel, when I talk about horror movies, I like to eat pizza. Okay, that's my thing. I eat pizza every freaking week. I promise you. And I've been this way for years. That's my favorite food. So when I like to watch a nice horror movie, now, disclaimer here, do not eat pizza and watch this movie in particular. Do not eat anything. Do not eat anything and watch The Front Room. Don't eat anything and watch The Deliverance either, because that was, I don't know what it is with poop these days and why we got to toss it in movies. Don't eat anything with those movies. But I like to have some pizza while I'm watching. And so I want to let y'all know what pizza that I enjoyed. Now, maybe not with this movie, but what my pizza of this week was.
Trust me, I say this just.
Anybody here order a pizza?
Charlie! Pizza!
It dices, it slices, and yet makes French fries in 3 different. Whoop!
Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like.
So let me know, is it just me? Okay, I know some of y'all be hating on Little Caesars, but when they came out with them pizza puffs, I came back to them. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. I tossed Little Caesars to the side too. They be like, Little Caesars is cheap. They pizza tastes like cardboard, but guess what? Them pizza puffs don't. I bet you them pizza puffs good. Let me know in the comments. Do y'all eat Little Caesars? Are y'all pizza fans? And if so, have y'all tried the pizza puffs? If not, go to your local Little Caesars. I don't have a brand endorsement, maybe one day. But let me tell you something. Them pizza puffs was hitting. Maybe it's just me, but those pizza puffs was hitting. Any of y'all on the panel had those?
I like Marco's pizza.
But I don't sleep on Little Caesars because the crazy bread goes crazy with extra marinara every time. Like,
give me Marco's or Pizza Hut or like a real like pizza place. Yes, Little Caesars is for children.
Elite.
And this is what I get the kids. Like, we go, Mom, can we get pizza? Let me grab a couple of Little Caesars. You can get that.
Yeah, Little Caesars is what you get people like kids or people who just can't appreciate their pizza. Like,
all right.
Judgment.
The judgment. See, I bet y'all go get a pizza puff. You're gonna change your mind. I'm just saying.
I'll try them out, Kay, just because you promoted it.
Get one of them pizza puffs. I promise you, that's gonna change your mind about Little Caesars. They tried to. Now the rest of the pizza, they ain't changing the ingredients, but something about them little puffs, I don't know. They work for me. As we are going back into The Front Room, this cast was very small for this movie. So for the most part, we are following these 3 people. Belinda, who is the wife of Norman, she is an adjunct professor who did not get tenure and quit her job every 5 minutes. She is pregnant and annoyed, and her husband Norman is broke. Yes, she married the broke white man. I don't know how you end up with all these white men in the world. You went and found the broke one. Why, Belinda? That's what we stumble upon. And then he's an attorney and he ain't got no bread either. She a college professor, he an attorney. Ain't nobody in that house got no bread. Then we got his stepmother. Solange. This one is a character here. Before we get into these characters, shout out to the 80 plus people in the chat on a Wednesday night to talk about what it was supposed to be horror in general. Tyra,
First case.
what did you think about our cast? Because this was pretty much the cast here. We may have had someone come and go, but this was pretty much it. What did you think of the cast?
It's dull as hell. Dull as dishwater. First of all, you don't give me some old Betty and name your middle character Norman and have her giving Norman Bates energy, and he ain't no bad guy. Like, I was ready for him to flip. First of all, Norman, it was there. When she called him Norman, I was like, that's given. When she called the phone, as soon as the movie started, it was like, it's your mother, Norman. I was like, oh, this is psycho. He's crazy. Girl, run, Brandy. He in on it. No, he was just a defense attorney. Like, a broke one. This is the brokest defense attorney and professor I've ever seen in my life. Why? What were the titles for? They should have made her a waitress and him just jobless at this point with how they was acting up in that beat up old house. Like, it was a hot mess. This was tired. Belinda and Norman had absolutely no chemistry. They looked like they was two strangers that just met on the bus. You know, you get on public transportation and you want to sit. Ain't no more seats, but you got to sit in the middle seat, but you don't want to actually touch the person. So you like sit. That's not, it was nothing. It gave absolutely nothing. So that gave me nothing to believe in. And it didn't help that it didn't feel like throughout the movie he didn't give a damn about that woman. Then she had that overly fake stomach. The wardrobe was terrible. And you know, like all Black horror movies, they got to give every sister some sister locks or some faux locks or some box braids because we don't wear nothing else. Had to do that. And then we got this old Betty over here that I just was like, none of this premise should even be possible because the way I would have put her in a home, the way she would have got on my face, the way I would have hired some help to care for this woman. From the moment that she came in and she was just allowed to take, I was like, y'all that broke? Y'all that desperate? Changing the name from the baby owned, it was just too much control from Solange's side. Solange was funny as hell though. So if Solange wasn't here, I don't know what I would have did. I would have had to look at Brandy. I don't know. I don't do that. Like I don't know what's happening with Brandy or if it is something health wise, but her face, it just felt really, it looked very tight and a little uncomfortable in scenes. And as Ashley would say, it looked a little alienation. And she always had a little alienation going on. That was always a part of her beauty, but it just looked, it something about it just, it didn't sit well with my spirit. I ain't like that. But yeah, they clearly didn't do any real casting to see if these people had any chemistry. I didn't care about Norman. Didn't give a damn about Belinda. Solange, girl, somebody take the whistle. I don't know.
She was the most interesting person here. Ashley, how did you feel about our cast? Because this was it. This was the story. Was these three? How did you feel about the cast?
Yeah, Norman was shiftless and useless. He wasn't even fine. He didn't have no money. He was and for the premise to kind of be this idea that his stepmother was so abusive to him when he was younger, it didn't take him but a second to get over and start siding with her. He was useless in my mind. As far as Brandy, I'm with Tyra. I was concerned for her health most of the time. When it initially opened, I was like, oh, maybe she had some work done. Maybe it's some fillers that haven't settled quite just yet. But by the end of the movie and then watching some subsequent clips and like press things, it looks like she's swollen, maybe from like steroids or something. So I was really concerned more about her health than this performance. Gollum, y'all see, Gollum came in and saved the day. Without Gollum, aka Solange, there would have been no movie, no film. This is where we got all of the laughter, all of our kikis. Any sort of exuberant performance came from Solange. Brandy and Belinda and Norman was dry.
No,
and listen, real dry. Solange kind of, if there was a day to save, she would have been the one to possibly save it, but it was terrible. There was no redeeming it for me.
She had me at that walk.
She's
gone.
Exactly. Yeah, he wasn't. How you get the white boy? He ain't fine. He ain't got no money.
He ain't broke.
Exactly.
How you marry somebody and don't know anything about their family? Like, what? Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened. And I honestly thought when I seen some of the pictures of Brandy in the film, I thought that because it was the stepmom, because we saw that in the trailers, I thought she like did something to her, and that's why she was looking like that. And then, but she ain't do nothing to her for her to be looking like that. I just wanted to give Miss Norwood a Benadryl. Dom, how did you feel about this cast?
One point of clarification before I get into all the things that was wrong with this movie. One he was a public defender. He was not a defense attorney. He was a public defender who are in media notoriously broke. They're always broke in media. So that's the one little
paint broke. Dom can't afford a can of paint broke.
Bullshit. If somebody had to quit their job on a whim, no. Wait, if this was a 2-income household and you just up and decide to quit your job with you 80 months pregnant, then no, that's not. No, yeah, we can't afford paint.
But NSF's Dom, like NSF, the card ain't clearing for a can of $30 paint.
Look, have you been to Home Depot? You know, Brandy Bougie, she's running about a big can of paint, and no, we ain't got it. We ain't got it because somebody decided to quit their job. Somebody decided to quit their job and we just moved into this house. So you should have. What would you buy paint for?
We in this dilapidated house, y'all.
Yeah, you need to be buying caulk or water. We ain't got to the paint stage because there's a lot wrong with this house. Paint is fine, we ain't got there yet. We buy some 2x4s to fix the foundation. we living in a 2-story shack. I don't know what you buy paint for. But aside from the income issues that I think would justify, because you got an educator and a public defender, yeah, that's low middle class right there. I love Solange. Solange was doing her thing. Whatever the director gave her to do, she took it and ran with it. And I think she was doing what she was supposed to do. And she was the only one in this movie. Yeah, everybody else was in a different movie. She was in this movie and she was doing her thing. And she was like, I ain't gonna make it. I might not make it to this movie premieres. So while we're filming, I'm putting my back to this.
She's on her last legs. She's about to fall over any second.
Look, this was her last one.
Not Solange, not Beyonce's baby sister.
And look, when the credits was rolling and it was like such and such as Solange, I was like, what? I just assumed it was gonna be another black lady in the movie. But the daughter of the Confederacy is now
Exactly. Named her Solange and named Brandy Belinda.
that was to me the greatest offense that this movie gave me was you can subvert my expectations. You can invite me in for one thing and then take me on a different route. I'm okay with that. But take me somewhere. Don't drop me in a septic tank and just leave me there. Like you introduce all these racial overtones. You make a big thing of making her very Southern and very racist. Like, but racist by association. Like she didn't actually do anything racist, but she got a daughter of the Confederacy thing. She got this weird accent, and she's an asshole. But other than that, we didn't explore these themes at all. We didn't talk about the dynamic between interracial relationships or marrying into a family with different expectations. We explored none of that. We was like, these are things that happen in real life. We're not going to address none of it. We just going to make fart jokes and poop jokes. And this was like, who wrote this? This is a 12-year-old movie. Like, this is a high school level humor that I don't understand how it got to this point.
Because we don't name our children Fern. These were the whites.
And that's what, and so, because he made me agree with her, because he made this baby's name so terrible. Because it's like, you got this black lady calling her name Fern. Of course, Lori is a better name. Of course, Lori is a better name. You could have picked any name, and it would have been better than Fern for this little mixed baby.
Fern.
Exactly.
Fern.
I was with Solange on that. Lori was a much better name. But as we see in the story, sorry, spoiler alert. You came here, you asked for the spoilers. So Solange is supposed to be the evil stepmother to Norman Bates here. And but I didn't see where she was evil to him. He was in his mind trying to make it seem like she was like, like abusive and stuff. I didn't see I didn't see the, maybe it's because she's older and she can't beat him up no more. But once an abuser, always an abuser. I didn't see the abusiveness that I feel like he was trying to make it seem like she was. The overly religious part, yes. The manipulative part, yes. But I didn't see that aggressive, angry, abusive person. I didn't see that overzealous, racist person. Because his thing was, I didn't tell you about my family because they wouldn't accept us. Then where was the racisms? How many racisms did you see? You count them out.
Y'all had a more unique name.
Exactly. You can count the racisms on one hand in this movie. The couple here, Belinda and Norman Bates, they already lost one child, as we could see. They didn't go into detail. We just see the certificate from the child. We don't really get too many other details. We just know that there was one, it wasn't, and now we're pregnant with another. And then we got Solange here. She done lost her man. She said, look, I give y'all my money because apparently y'all broke. I can see y'all broke. But what's going to happen is I'm about to come on over there and make this my house. Make your house my house. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to tell you that I'm a little incontinent, but don't tell nobody. And that's the basis of the story, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it.
That is what we have. The incontinent stepmother who was supposed to be evil, not so evil, who was supposed to be overly religious, and I only seen her prayer group with one time, and pregnant Belinda, who eventually does have the little mixed baby, and they named her Lori, just like Solange said, because weren't no person trying to name their damn baby Fern Gully. Why would you even want to do that? That makes no sense.
The last rainforest.
That's all Ashley, what did you think about the premise of this?
Oh my goodness. So here's the thing, and I feel like we sound like a broken record at this point, because a lot of these films, movies, shows that we've seen lately have had all the potential in the world. The premise is there. The issue that I found with it is that we didn't dig deep. We didn't explore any of these paths. It could have been really compelling if this was a story of religious abuse that he suffered at her hands, and we got to dive into that world. Or if, they were in the South and there was this heavy presence of racism that he grew up with, and maybe he was hiding that thing, but nothing was ever developed. And as far as Belinda, where your people at? That's what I wanted to know. We don't know anything about Belinda except for the fact that she was adjunct. They made her permanent, and now she feels as though they're trying to replace her. And she's just trying to find her way, baby. We need to have your mother-in-law. I don't care if she abused you, because we need this bag. That's all we got from her. Everyone was just so superficial. Like, even with Solange, give us a flashback to a young Solange. Like, I want to know where all this came from. Why is there this enmity? And then with you, Norman, I didn't believe you. I didn't believe that lady did anything to you except do her Kundalini tongues. That's all I believe that happened. You know what I mean? So again, I think that it had promise. I think there were opportunities, but they didn't explore. This was superficial at best.
Dom.
Incontinent would have been a better title for this movie. I don't know.
See, then nobody would have went to see this. And nobody want to see that.
Yeah, nobody would. But if you like didn't know what the word meant, it sounds like if you put incontinent in red lettering over a black background and you don't know what the word means, you're like, oh, this sounds.
He go blast it and hit it with that insidious theme. Incontinent.
but at least it would have been a relevant title, because I don't know what the front room was supposed to signify with this, because also this movie, yeah, like you said, the outline of this movie, if I was a screenwriter or a producer and you sent me the outline of this movie, I'd be like, cool, yeah, write a script and let's see what comes of it. But everything past that, it just kind of went to hell, because one, every decision these characters make is questionable, in the sense that you lost a child, which is horrifying. and nobody should have to go through that. Cool. But you decide to have another child. And I know she had the fake belly the whole time, but for a second, I thought that Brandy must have been really pregnant because there is no scene of her not pregnant. Like, there's no scene of her without a big belly. After she had the kid, she still has a big belly. And then at the end of the movie, she's pregnant with twins. So I'm like, is she really pregnant? Because why is she always barefoot pregnant in this movie? But you decide to have another child. And so my thing is, you've had the conversation that y'all are emotionally okay with having another child, but yet you're not emotionally okay to put that child in the room across the hall from you, which makes sense. Who in their right mind puts their newborn child downstairs by the front door? So I don't even know why the baby was in the front room to begin with, and then you put this, and then the stepmother comes to live with you, and you get access to her money immediately. So as soon as move-in day, you got access to our coin, but can't fathom in the budget somebody to come take care of her, especially when she becomes incontinent. Like if you just move her in, you'd be like, what's the deal with it? That makes sense. But the moment you open that door and you gotta do this, you're gonna lay there to somebody come up here because I'm not doing it. I'm not a medical professional. I don't want to hurt you. So somebody gonna show up and take care of this because I promise you it's not me. But you ain't even my mama. We got money for that. There's an app for that. And we'll hit on care.com or something because it doesn't make any sense. And then you quit. Brandy is the villain of this movie, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Brandy was mentally ill, and she quit her job when she wasn't supposed to. She married somebody that she manipulated and couldn't manipulate anymore. And I just somehow Brandy was the villain in this movie.
You can't rewrite it, Dom. Dom said, "This is my version of what happened."
Dom told a whole other story. Tyra, how did you feel about the premise? What was Brandy the villain in the story?
We don't know, and I'm not going to take that off of Dom. They didn't lay enough groundwork for us to take that. All we got was that she was having, those nightmarish type of dreams, visions, whatever, and she was sleepwalking. And we didn't even do a whole lot with that. I think we saw her sleepwalking maybe 2 or 3. We made time to have her bump and grind on Norman. That scene was for what?
The slow motion, slow ride.
For what? Who was that for? That was so yeah, we made time for that, but we didn't piece anything together. And it was like, okay, because they're presenting this to us, especially via that trailer. It's like, oh, this is a typical Rosemary's Baby with a hint of racism. This lady's gonna come in, or with her folks, with this heavy ounces of religion, and it's gonna have something to do with her in this baby. That's what you get from that trailer. So when we get here and it's something completely different, and then I go and actually read the short, because this was a short story in a book that they tried to clearly expand. It was never there. But even with that, what was wrong with the front room material? It was fine. It was a very plain, straightforward story. You're supposed to have this strong, multiple kids, faith Christian-based type of family, clear out and design their front room to take in, hence the front room, take in a homeless person. And then, as time goes by, they realize that this homeless person is, carrying an entity, it's evil, and then we have to, protect our kids, our family, whatever. That's it. I don't know why that wasn't enough. And we went the incontinence route.
About it. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too.
This was disgusting. And it was really shallow. I just thought that, okay, we're not going to go the route of the racism, because like y'all said, when he breaks, oh, she's racist and she wouldn't have accepted us and this, that, and she gets there and it's just like, Belinda, she didn't care. She didn't care. She didn't care. I was like, what are we upset about? Other than, the incontinence of it all, she was very, but Belinda, it's me and you and me and MMESS. Belinda. She was fine. She acted like she had been waiting on Belinda her whole life. I always wanted a black friend. I don't know what that was. I didn't feel the racism. But if we have that, aside from that Confederacy document, like, get that out of here. Waste of time, waste of space, waste of paper. With that little back and forth that they had with them standing deep within their different religions, I thought we were going to go somewhere with that. I thought we were going to go somewhere with that. And it was going to be the push and pull of why my religion is correct and why I'm doing this in my house. No, it's my house and it should be ran like this. And, having the cross over the baby and the baby won't stop crying. I thought they were going to do, we didn't even develop that completely. We just dropped that on the ground. but we had enough time for this. We had more than enough time for that. Like I just and the whistle and the annoyance of it all and the poop shots and the pee of it all. We just gave most of our energy to the more disgusting, shallow elements of the story, and I just didn't know what they wanted us to do with this. But if we're not going to go off into that religious aspect fully, don't give me a depiction of old baby here as the Mary with 6 tits. Please don't do that.
They had some things that I feel like which they could have made it more interesting, but they dropped the plot off because they wanted to tell a different story than what we thought we were getting. Shout out to the 90+ people in the chat. Y'all run it up. Let's make it 100. We getting on up there. Thank y'all for coming and joining us on a Wednesday evening to talk about this foolishness. Now, me and Tyra were talking about a pattern that we have been noticing. Real horror fans, drop in the chat if you have been seeing this as well. There has been a subgenre, I feel like, is emerging where the monster, the villain, is old people. Why are they trying to make us afraid of old people? Y'all made me sit through X when they was y'all look, if A24, if y'all just wanted to make a porn movie on the low, y'all could have just said that. Y'all had us sitting through the making of a porn film just to throw us a perverted old person at the end of the movie. M. Night Shyamalan, didn't he do The Visit and Old? Why? What you got against old people? M. Night and you getting on up there as he is. So I don't even know what your obsession is with trying to make us afraid of old people. And then you got the taking of Deborah Logan again with the Alzheimer's. What is the Dom? Have you noticed this new subgenre arising in horror movies that want us to be afraid of old people for some reason?
So I'm a big fan of patterns. And I'm a big fan of cinematic patterns. So this was right up my alley. I'm so glad you included it. Thank you for inviting me. No, but in my guess, because I did notice this, but my guess is that this is Hollywood trying to find a new retarded person. Because, and I know that sounds harsh, but in my that was wild. I'm sorry. But
we're gonna let you cook though. I feel like it's going somewhere. We're gonna let you cook.
Because in the early 2000s and before, but in the early 2000s and 80s and the 90s, there was you had a lot of horror movies where they were really just mentally ill. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Left Turn, The Hills Have Eyes. These are inbred, mentally ill people. And as we get into the new millennium, when we get into the 2010s, it starts to be less politically correct to have these people as the villains or as evil. And you think about there's petitions from organizations to have Disney movies stop having the villains portrayed as like with a scar or like with Bond. They want the movies to stop having people with deformities always portrayed as the villains. So Hollywood has to find a new demographic of villain and something else to be scared of because they ran the child into the ground. It's only so much you can do with the creepy child. And the mentally ill and the disfigured are becoming less and less acceptable. So I need to find something else. And it is still socially acceptable to kind of, shit on old people. Like it's still like old people being scary is the only thing that's okay right now. And so I think it's the new B movie thing. It's the new easy out is like, just make them old. Make them old. And these old people need jobs. They're going to be creepy and naked, and they're going to do whatever we want. and we're gonna make a movie for $10 million and make 50. That's what we're gonna do.
Ashley, I know you're not big in the horror streets, but what do you think about making old people the new horror icons?
I don't don't know. It makes me nervous, though. It makes me wonder if there's some nefarious underpinnings as it relates to this. Like, do you want us to hate the elders? Like, I don't know how I feel about it. I'll say it all started for me with Don't Tell Mom Babysitter's Dead. That is not a horror movie, but she was scary. That lady was absolutely scary, but she was shortly after that. I don't know if I like the narrative. Again, horror is not my space. I'll probably be more concerned when it moves into the mainstream, but I don't like the idea of alienating or villainizing our elders because there's so much to learn and gain from them. I think balance is key. And I think it's really sad when um, art has to become so censored and so hyper aware of political correctness. So I'm hoping at some point we get away from that and we can just go back to telling stories that are compelling and not, targeting this. Or, I mean, because if we're going to get into it, kink and fetishism is having its way in this film in some kind of part as well. Just tell stories, guys. I don't know if we have to put all this agenda behind it, but that's my 2 cents.
Tyra, I know you got some thoughts about this.
I don't like it. I don't like it because you have Old here, The Taking of Deborah Logan, The Visit, X. I have seen something called The Elderly. It's a horror movie. It's just simply called Old People. Like, and stuff like Relic. Like there's always a fear around aging and getting old. There's a stigma there, so I can get the horror in it. But there's also a fear around the treatment and disregarding of elderly people. And they don't need nothing. They don't need no help. Like this particular film, this type of film makes you not want to take your people's in. Okay. It's like, you know what? I don't think I'm built like that. Like this just puts such a stigma around old people. It's just like, oh, when you get of a certain age and you're at that point, we need care. Like we need to be handled with care, giving, attention, love, and affection. This is giving everything, but it's like, you know what? When the age hits, run for the water, because no, they're gonna lose their mind and they're just gonna start murdering. Like I have seen movies where it's just like, oh, the old people, they're just old and they just murdering folks just because they old and they've lost it all. It's like, what? That's just just what that is, just because they're elderly. And I just don't like that depiction of the elderly people, because we do know that small children and the elderly are the most abused people, especially out in certain settings. So they don't need one more thing. Let's get into it. The movies aren't even good.
Yes.
The movies aren't even good because the plot point is they crazy, they old, and they killing. That's it. And I can't just agree with that. I cannot. The Deborah Logan, does have its own little narrative or but a lot of these situations it's just they're old and they're crazy because they're old and they've lost their sanity, and it's there's a lot that comes with that. We're all going to get old, so let's not do this, because I don't want nobody pushing me down when I reach those stages. Take care of me, please.
But I do think, I mean, I agree with what Tyra says as far as the ramifications and the implications of it. But I do think that, because especially like with The Visit, because the twist in it is they just escaped an old people's home. So like that was the how bad they were. They were just mentally ill people loose around children. So that was the scariness of it. So I do agree with that. But I don't think, but I think I don't think that the bad execution of an idea means that you throw out an idea, because part of horror and the staple of horror is that things that are seemingly weak can be scary. So that's why creepy children are scary. That's why Pet Sematary and the cat and all of this stuff is scary, because the things that are typically seen as mundane or frail being now scary is like I remember this random movie Legion, the Angels Coming to Earth movie, and when they're in the diner and that old lady decides to climb up the wall, that was probably the only scary part of that movie.
Different, Dom. That's different, because if you're gonna say that, you can use the devil and the old lady, jumping up in the elevator as the devil, but those are momentary things that stood out. We couldn't have a whole movie of that old lady and just the whole Legion be that. It's okay because it's just momentary. Nobody wants to see a whole movie of that.
Well, that's why I separate the usage of old people as scary versus the execution of it. Because these people, like all of these movies that are on the screen right now, are just lazy. They're lazy, cheap attempts at screaming because I can't go get a Hills Have Eyes anymore. This is the new version of that. And so lazy filmmaking is always bad, and lazy and uninspired filmmaking should always be critiqued. But I don't think the premise of old people being scary is indicative. I don't think that should be tossed out offhand. I think like sparingly. I think it can be used in dramatic effect.
Sparingly. Like, and not to say that because Pet Sematary is different, but I will always remember Pet Sematary because that deformed Zelda, that momentary vision of, you know, it's like, oh, that stood out. And once again, it was something, you know, scarce. One little moment, and we didn't need a whole movie of it. I don't think this particular old narrative is built to just build a whole movie around. Old is its own thing, and so is The Visit. And that these are the better films in the genre. But please don't make this a thing. I don't want to see it again, especially with what we got with this movie.
Heck no. Dane with the $2 super chat, and you spent $2 to say that old people smell bad, but they're not scary. Shout out to Dane for the $2 super chat. Again, shout out to our channel new members. If y'all see the membership links in the chat, join. They're all they're on our channels. Join our channel membership. We got Blockbuster Night coming. Thank you all for joining and these memberships. If we don't see you in the y'all need to be there, okay? It's certain things that we can't do in public, and certain things we can't say without getting canceled. In public. So come on and join the memberships, and a shout out to the almost 100 people in the chat. Y'all run it up, hit it so we can get weekday is 99, and tell a friend, come on in here, let's make it 100. We still got some more stuff to talk about with this foolish movie.
I can't keep my cool, baby, baby. I can't hold it inside. I can't wait each day just to see you. Find you moving close to get you where you are. Not trying to be rude, baby, baby. Nothing is enough and ain't for you, baby, baby, baby. My cool, baby, baby. I can't hold it inside. I can't wait each day just to see you. Find you moving close to get you where you are. Not trying to be rude, baby, baby. Nothing is enough and ain't for you, baby, baby, baby.
Had to show Brandy some love in a way that we would like to remember her outside of this horrible role. So I had to take it back to B Rocka, the vocal Bible, and get a little groove in there real quick because this was not it. Shout out to somebody got a new channel member. Hey,
thank you so much, Madam Curiosity. Definitely appreciate it. Welcome to the struggle because it's real and we finna get real, get ignorant. We are. Anyway.
Yes, hit them membership buttons. I promise y'all in for some good laugh. If y'all think this is funny, wait till y'all see us off camera. Oh my goodness. Back to the front room. What was the reason? Why did we have to look at so much poo every freaking 5 minutes? And not just poo, we had to see poo on the bed, we had to see poo on everybody's clothes. Why are y'all cleaning up the poo and walking around and staying around with the dirty smelly clothes on, picking up the baby? What is it for?
Newborn. Oh, okay, then
holding the baby. Y'all stinking and smelly. And then old boy decides, let me go in there, help clean up, and then take my stinking ass to work. I ain't change clothes, ain't take no shower and nothing. Ain't say, let me change clothes before I pick up the baby. Nothing. Solange, she was hell for this. Because y'all could have got a home health aide. At her age, she probably qualified for what is it, retirement or short or disability,
her money, Kay.
Social security. She balling. Y'all had more than enough money to hire a home help. First of all, I would just put her ass in a home. After that, I'd have said, ma'am, if you can't take yourself to the bathroom, you can't live here. If you can't walk to get yourself to the bathroom, you can't stay here. Oh, and lo and behold, her ass can walk all along. Okay, she just towing in the Jordans down the hall until somebody see her, and then now you falling all out. This lady was just manipulative. Belinda should have smacked her several times and didn't. But then at the point in the movie where she should have got her shit rocked, literally, she didn't. But she rocked it her own self. She did that liar, and she was like, "I'm kicking my own ass," and thrust us to the floor several times. Oh, girl she was something else, hilarious. And y'all, there's this scene where what did she call her, the child of when Belinda tried to call her out on her racism at that dinner table. Now let me tell y'all, this was a funny dinner table scene. Okay, I laughed at that. Okay, Solange was showing out in this movie, major time showing out. Tyra, what is the reason?
I'm a racist baby. Yeah, I'm a racist baby. I was like, what is going on? What is happening? What is happening? Kay, when she threw her body on that floor after her racist baby rant and tooted her ass up to fart, I fell out. Because why? Why are we using pee and feces and fart jokes? Like, it felt like this off. On Family Guy where they go off into the side stories, little side quests, and you have it just felt so unreal. I was like, what is going on? I couldn't believe that somebody made this and released it. A24 of all people, and Lord knows that they can be weird, but majority of the time there's a method to the madness. There was no method here at all. When she threw herself on that damn coffee table and she beat me. Oh, she's trying to kill me. I was like, what the? I just didn't know whether to am I supposed to be are we supposed to be in fear? What did they expect the public to do with this film? I don't know. I was just really excited. The fact that clearly was not a real baby. It was a baby alive, and it wasn't.
A lot of people spoke about that too. They didn't even try to make it seem like a real baby some of those times.
From the fake baby to the fake belly. When were we going to come back to? First of all, I don't like to see the old white speaking in tongue. I don't like to see that. Don't put that in my face. It bothered my spirit. I don't know. We go to black churches. It's something so
they had to lay hands on her real quick.
First of all, the black church, they speak in tongues. The tongues in this movie, it just, I don't know. It felt like it wasn't no Christ on it. I don't know what that was. It bothered me. I don't know.
It was white Jesus. Okay, it's different when it's black Jesus.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't no kind of Jesus. It wasn't.
It didn't feel right. But we weren't even going to mention all of the scar on her belly was healed. We were just doing things. The nightmare of the baby and the tub and it just didn't come together. And then we have just Norman just simply there. Useless. And you already know what I said, and I meant what I said. I told you, I feel like I know where this weird movie is going. If we see him at any point breastfeed from this old tit, I swear I'm knocking all this mess. I'm knocking shit over. I swear. I felt it in my bones. We were about to go that route. When she opened that door and he was suckling from that 93-year-old tit, it pissed me off. Because why? We didn't have to go there. That served absolutely no purpose. Maybe we were trying to go all off into Belinda's mental state and was she sleepwalking? Nothing was even clarified for that to matter. By the time he woke up, I was like, we're not going to address the titty. Did that not happen? Oh, it didn't happen. So we don't have to talk about it. That her throwing herself, her trying to manipulate freaking Norman, and that's when she's not. That's when we're not, hawking up mucus, and we're not blowing that freaking whistle like we're at the George R. Brown convention. Like she was in a goddamn band. Like, shut the oh. It just made me mad, and I don't be want to feel like that towards the elderly. Like, get this old witch out of here and get her in the damn home. No, absolutely not. I wouldn't. Black people don't do this. Well, I just want to. We need to meet Belinda's mom. We need to know some of her history. Because why are you caring and putting up with this mess? For what? How did you end up with this penniless white man you don't know anything about? How did you end up in this dilapidated house on a hill? What is happening? I'm never watching this again.
What was the reason?
There wasn't any reason, but one thing we're not going to gloss over is the fact that she was covered in feces from her feet to her neck, grabbed that baby, pulled her nina out, and put it in that baby's mouth. She must be
talk about it
for her crimes, because there's no way on this earth that you would. I took back Brandy's black card in that moment. I needed subtitles for Solange, okay? Because everything I got from her wasn't in her vocals, right? Or in her lines, because I didn't understand what the heifer was saying anytime during the movie. It was, it was this, what do they call it? This body acting where she's throwing herself around and like, again, but she gave from her little handkerchief clan hat to her cousin being the Grand Dragon to Belinda being Belinda being a uppity Yankee, like
she was like,
yeah,
I'm a racist baby. I'm a racist baby. What's going on?
There was no point. This was some Dubai type fetish, like feces fetish, like pee fetish. Like, this was some sick, old, diabolical, nasty, deplorable work. There was no reason. This satisfied somebody's kink. I don't know who that person, probably some of the filmmakers. They have to be nasty to think this up in your mind and then watch somebody do it.
Go in.
And then it was like, cut.
Do it again. Yeah, it wasn't just one. You guys, that's what I want to stress to you. It's a gratuitous amount of poo.
And see, we got to look at the toilet. We got to look at the poop. We got to look at the pee. We got to look at Solange in the bathtub looking like a hobbit.
Just going. Wait, y'all can see me. Like, what the? Why? What was the show for? What was the pretending for? What was the setup of Belinda yelling to the rooftop, this lady, she's trying to replace me, and I'm the mother. You're not the mother. This is my house. And we didn't go nowhere. We didn't even go anywhere.
And not a lick of hair under that wig. Looking just like Gollum. I promise y'all.
She was looking like Dobby from Harry Potter.
Little house elf. Dobby.
Elf on the shelf.
Dobby is free.
It is, because you know how you had a shelf, that elf on the shelf, and then you look and it's moved. Like, that's what she was doing. She was a goddamn elf on the shelf in the house.
Oh my goodness.
No, when she put the yellow phlegm in the napkin and then put it in her purse, that should have been the telltale sign that we was going down the rabbit hole at that point.
Don, what was the reason?
No, there was no reason. There was, because this movie was written and directed by two people. I'm assuming they're brothers because they got the same last name. It was made by two people, and this is the exact opposite of what you get when you get the Coen brothers or you get the Wachowskis. Like, you get this is the opposite, because instead of one cohesive vision, the Russo brothers, this is the opposite of that. Because it felt like two people were trying to tell their own movie, and we because it's like, are we going to talk about the racist and delve into interracial relationships. Are we going to have a religious debate and talk about the Christian versus secularism and how Christianity takes from all these other cultures? We touched on it, but didn't delve. We touched on so many things, but didn't delve into it. The only consistent through line of this movie is it kept getting shittier. Like it just literally, and it's like they showed it more. I had to see so much pee getting wiped off and pools of urine. And how many times you gonna flush the toilet and make me have my face in the toilet as you flush it? Like what? And then you had the nerve to put this creature in a tub and make me watch it as if as if some sort of elevated acting is going on. It's like this was supposed to be like the
Dom, wash me. I am you, you are me, we are each other. Wash me, Dom. I see you.
Why are we doing this? It's
M.E. Man down, pimp in distress. Somebody
we gotta look at Dopey.
mess. Somebody pimp in distress.
like, no, leave her ass in there. Leave her in there.
No, I feel like one of these people wanted to make a serious, thought-provoking horror movie, and the other one tried to make the scary movies after the Wayans left, like 3, 4, 5, and 6. Like this, because when she farted in that lady's face, I was like, "This is a scary movie. This is one of the lesser scary movies. This is the same joke. This is the same as like Kevin Hart and Anthony Anderson in that Brokeback Mountain skit when he's reaching for some nuts. This is the same stupid type of comedy that we do. What are we doing in this A24 movie? How dare you? Not going to defend A24 to people like, hey, it's like you kind of got a leg to stand on now.
It doesn't. We didn't need to see if they. I feel like they just wanted to make a movie and make Poop the star of the movie because we did. The movie was so bad. I felt like I smelt it while I was. I felt like it was like I had smell-o-vision. Okay, I had to light some candles and stuff after this because it was stuck in my nose. How was it not? I was like, I bet you that house stank after this, and that man be going to work would probably be smelly and stuff.
She had feces and them faux locks.
And you know, this is bad for the culture with the release of all these videos about certain people not washing their legs, not using soap, not using washcloths, letting water just run from the shampoo. That lady said she's never
took a bath. I need a shower. I'm not. Get off me. Pack me. Get my pee all over your body and my feces on your neck because I'm in distress because I'm a mess. Help me.
Because how was it getting everywhere? They look like they was mud bogging.
Yeah, when it was poop all on the side of the wall and on the picture frame.
Everywhere. I was convinced every time she pooped or did anything, she went, I'm a racist baby before they came downstairs and just flung it everywhere. Why not?
Yeah. And the reason this might be a reason why the movie seemed so disconjointed was because they took a concept, like Tyra was saying earlier, from a short story from a book called The Traveling Bag. Now, if you like short horror stories, check this book out, okay? If you wanted the story to actually be good, we could have kept it here. Because in this story, they were going for the more supernatural angle, that there was a reason why she was so overly religious. And, you know, when we see her pass away at the end, that wasn't the end of Solange, as we would have thought, since she was since we thought this was this overly religious paranormal activity lady that, you know, that death couldn't even take her down. But apparently it did, because in the movie, they said we're gonna abandon that part and we're gonna leave her for dead, and then we're going to make it seem like Belinda is the one who took her out. Now, they left it kind of ambiguous that we don't know if Belinda smothered her on purpose or she did it on an accident because she was sleepwalking. But then we go back to the child that they lost in the beginning. Was this something that she does on an accident? Because if so, how is Norman Bates living that long? How she ain't took him out yet with his broke ass? But yeah, you done took out an innocent child, and Solange, she wasn't even there 5 minutes. She could have helped with the baby. You taking out other people, but ain't take out him, which is sleepwalking. I'm so confused about that. But in the short story, We went the supernatural angle, and that she was really after them children, like for real, coming from beyond the grave. Ashley, would you had rather than went with the short story?
Yeah, I think that would have made it horror. I've been having issues with all of the horror movies that you guys you roped me into, Kay. For this one, you must do time. Deliverance was bad enough, but this was worse. Okay, so I just want to put that out into the atmosphere. You must pay for these crimes against humanity. Okay, but yeah, at least this would have felt like horror. None of the movies that we've watched up to this point have felt like a horror movie to me. At least if her presence was haunting and coming back from the grave and really doing something scary, right? I probably could have gotten into it. And I'll tell you the reason why she wasn't going to take out broke boy Norman Bates is because she loves her slow rides. She loved that slow mechanical bull. She loved it. She loved all 2 seconds of it. That was my other question, because how could it last for just 2 seconds and we were literally watching it in slow motion? I wonder how that works. But no, she wasn't taking him out. But if they would have stuck with the real short story, we could have gone somewhere.
Ashley said, "What's the latitude and the longitude?"
Dom, how do you feel like they should have stuck with the short story and not changed it up, trying to be weird ass A24?
Yeah, I did not know that this was adapted from anything, and this little paragraph is much better than the movie I watched, which is crazy because A24 could do. They just did this with the Green Room. I mean, with the Green Knight. With the Green Knight is just an adaptation of an old English poem, Sir Gawain and the Knight. It just do the same thing, and that was weird and trippy, and it was still good. Like, you could have done this, and you could have still adapted it and put your own twist on it, but just give me a version of this or some inspiration. There's really no relevance to this in the movie. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, if all you had to do was take out the racism, there should be no racist overtones in this movie. Take that out and let it be a religious battle between the two. If they have conversations throughout the movie about their religious beliefs, and that mirrors like their battle over the child or over the household, and just let that build to some sort of horrific climax, then you know what? This is all of a sudden this is a better movie. But this bears no. Now I'm mad that this movie exists, because now that means that this short story probably won't ever get adapted with a big budget ever, because they already soiled it. So that just made me more mad. It definitely soiled it.
They besmirched it, Dom.
No, they soiled it with a cloth diaper. It's horrifying.
Tyra, I already know that they probably should have went. Why didn't they go with this one though? Why would they change it and make it gross?
They wanted to be. They thought this is like, you know what? This is a little dull. Let's put a little stank on it. Literally, they put some stank on that shit. Like I turn to say, and it was disturbing. It was disgusting. This wasn't even like good disturbing. It was just like, why? Like, this was a waste of time and a waste of film. If they weren't going to stick with this and they wanted to commit to their little trash premise, if you're going to give me, I'm a racist baby, and I'm a mother, and I'm this. I thought if she wasn't going to try to whatever, I thought she was hyping Brandy's character up to take her out. Because that's what it looked like when she poured that pitcher of water on her head. Like, yep, I'm getting closer to, getting her to the edge to where she's going to take me out, and she's getting fed up. She's a little giving docile Negro. I got to take care of this white woman. No, I need you to turn up and take me out, because she kept yelling towards the end of the movie, when am I going to die? When am I going to die? I was like, okay, I want her to kill me so I can either enter her body or enter this baby. Because why would we name the baby Lori? Like, yeah, I'm trying to come back as Lori. You think that's your baby, that's going to be me. When we go all the way to the end, after we done looked at that funky pink chair for the 18th time, when the kid is sitting in the little playpen, I just knew that baby was gonna hit some goo goo gaga, I'm a racist baby talk, and it was gonna be solidified. Like, I know Solange ain't still here. I thought we were rid of her. I thought we collected that money and we were rid of her. No, they decided to spin it. At this point, I'm with y'all. Like, why didn't she take out Norman? I feel like she took that baby out. I feel like she wasn't all there, because the only references we got to that baby was the little chest and the infant in the tub. Why would we show an infant in a tub of all places? I was like, did she do something to the baby and it's been covered up? Like at this point, I'm like, you talking about the missing teeth? Did you bite the baby, Brandy? Belinda. Did you bite the baby? I don't know. Like it just felt like maybe she wasn't mentally all that, because we do open the film and she's like, do I deserve to be a mother? Am I going to be she's worried. Like, why are you so worried and so concerned? And it felt like it was a little bit more than maybe them just losing a child. Maybe something was wrong mentally with Belinda. Like, but we didn't get that. We can't do everything. We can't put everything together. Y'all should have laid the foundation to make that clear. For a lot of time, you know, we identified with Belinda with her needing to get the hell out of there, but we thought for the most part she was sane. Like, if we're going to get to the end and give us something else and it felt very undeserved, it just didn't make any sense. And I want to know who gave them the money. Who's to blame? Somebody has to pay.
That is somebody, because we thought we might have had like a supernatural story. We thought maybe we would have had like a paranormal story. Then we thought we might have had dealt with some like racist horror story. And then they even could have taken it to psychological horror if they would have like did a deep dive into her mental health issues. We could have went in so many directions, and they said, I'm gonna give you a taste of what this could be, but we would rather talk about poop anyway. With that being said, those of you who are new to the channel, when I watch a movie, I have to give it my rating afterwards. And so within the panel, I want to get everybody else's rating of this movie. Shout out to the 100 plus people in the chat. I'm sorry that you might not have gotten the review that you thought you was going to get, but we ain't going to sit up here and lie. Y'all, this movie was just as much of a mess as they was cleaning up in that bathroom. Dom, what are you going to give this movie as your rating? Think about the casting, the music, the whole premise, the writing, and the direction and cinematography.
Oh my God, not direction and cinematography. Not you don't even make me comment on that.
Poop.
Right, the poop needs to be number 6. The casting, well, poop need a SAG award. Okay, so I like this scale because this is good. I like being detailed. With the score and the music, good score and good music should be invisible, and this one was. It didn't stand out, didn't take away from the movie. So I'll give it a point for that, just because whoever had to score this horrible movie did their job. The premise, writing, 1. Okay, 1 out of 5. Yeah, everything else was lacking to me. So 1 out of 5. Oh no, 2, because casting Solange was a choice. I feel like they cast Solange and then poop the bed on everything else. So yeah, these puns not stopping. But so I'll give it a 2 out of 5, just for 1.5, just for Solange.
So 1.5 is what we got.
1.5, yeah.
Oh, that's a high. Very nice. Ashley, you're the nice one.
0.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the my sour perspective. It comes out sometimes. On the opposite end of my sweet perspective, it can also get very sour. Tyra, what is your overall rating for this?
I'm starting at the bottom and work my way up. Direction and cinematography, never. 0. Writing, 0. The premise, 0. The score, what score? What music? What did anybody hear? I didn't hear
You
that.
hated that music.
0. Terrible music. Terrible. It was so random. That score was pathetic. The way that they kept randomly throwing that hot mess in there, it's just like, oh, this is a good. It's like somebody was on controls, just having fun. They was on controls in the back, going, "I'm a racist baby. I'm a racist baby." That's what they were doing in the back with the score. It was terrible. Casting, 0. Everything's a 0. I'm not giving Solange any credit. I'm sorry. She knew. I say she knew what movie she was in. I say that, but no, 0. This was a 0. This was a negative 0. This is a negative 0 experience. Terrible.
mathematically possible.
It's a negative 0.
Literally not, but I understand it.
I am going to give this movie. Because it gave me a couple chuckles, I'm gonna give it a 0.5.
So 0.5.
That was for my laughter right there. You get 0.5 for making me laugh.
0.
And not killing off the black girl in the movie. But
we had to get a black girl. This movie, Kay, like this we decided to do, and it's not even like it's some random ass black girl. It's Brandy.
Let me know in the chats, y'all. What is your rating? If you have seen this movie, if you paid your couple dollars to see this movie, what are you rating this movie on a scale of 0 to 5 skulls? 0 being the worst, to 5 being you absolutely loved it. Dom gave us the best score because of Brandy. And Tyra gave us a -0, which is not mathematically possible. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I can't believe they put this movie in theaters. Like, who greenlit this movie? Why didn't y'all say put this?
They made something worse than The Deliverance? Like, we were just here with The Deliverance. This made Deliverance look brilliant. I was like, oh, at least he had some semblance of a plot, even though they had the same old decrepit white Bettys walking around hairless. Fine. That was another trope on the fear of the elderly and the aging and the cancerous. Get out of here with that. She looked like Glenn Close in that bath.
Because Glenn Close was also bald head scallywag
with them 2 pieces of hair.
Why was it was like they had they gave him this and was like, I want y'all to see me like this. Why would you do? Why? What was the reason why would you make them look like a hobbit? Why y'all bring these white women to us looking like that? This was a Shudder original at the best.
This was a Tubi. Click that comment. Yes, it was, Drew Chase. It was a Tubi original with some random casting. This should have been just that random, like, oh, look this crap I found on Tubi. That's what you tell your friends. I can't believe I watched this. This was not a platform for Brandy. Girl.
And that's the bait and switch they did. Because that's the only reason I watched this movie is because Brandy's in it. This movie only got as far as it did off the back of Brandy's goodwill. And that's
because I wouldn't have watched it if somebody told me it was this bad and she wasn't in it. I would have skipped it like I skipped most of A24 movies anyway. But for some reason I said I'm rooting for everybody black and decided to go and yay Brandy and now y'all got me all the way upset.
She lived up to her name, Kay, once again, just like I still know she made it out alive, unscathed.
That was another reason for my 0.5 is y'all made me laugh and y'all didn't.
I didn't care. I ain't want this. This is the first time ever I wanted the black girl to go. I wanted let old decrepicy make it. Let her be reincarnated as a racist baby in real life. I wanted her to win. Justice for Solange.
Y'all, thank y'all for showing out and showing up for us this evening. Before we get out of here, I'm going to give our panel a moment to let everybody know what they got going on. Again, y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join the memberships because we got a lot of foolishness coming at you. In addition to what you just seen tonight, Dom, let the people know you are this close to getting your 500 subs, and they need to go over there and hit that subscriber button.
Yeah, come over to Screen Static, hit subscribe. We talking all kinds of sci-fi, we talking action, we talking Star Wars, we talk everything that goes pew pew and flies in the sky. We're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna talk about new movies. We're gonna talk about TV shows. It's a fun time over here, and you should be a part of it. So come on, subscribe, and let's run it up.
Y'all already know because Kay's definitely muted as she's giving me the intro. But you guys be here tomorrow night as we wrap up Bel Air. Kay will be hosting again. Come back Friday night where we will have our Fine Men Friday Night Live, the replay will only be available to members. So if you're not signed up for a membership, do that. But in the meantime, just make sure you're there for that live. She'll also be hosting Reasonable Doubt on Friday. Then I believe that the ladies have Killer Con on Saturday, and we'll be back Sunday for fight night. Y'all just make sure you're subscribed to everybody's channel. I will be uploading like 5 individual recap reviews tomorrow. So just make sure you're subscribed, have that notification bell hit. And thank you so much for hosting, Kay. Great job tonight.
Oh, thank you. Struggle, what's going on with the reviews?
Okay, you don't get no more suggestions for what we watching. You're done. You're finished, okay? Because you talked about Deliverance too, huh? Yeah, you're finished, Kay. You're done. Like Ashley just said, be on the lookout tomorrow. Everybody who was checking for the recaps of Bel-Air, we will be, wrapping up the season and discussing the show tomorrow. Friday is for Reasonable Doubt and Fine Man. Please be there for the Fine Man on Friday at the time that you're supposed to be there, because moving forward, it will be behind paywall. And if you weren't there to participate or watch it, you just wasn't there. Saturday, we will definitely be getting into Killer Con, and we will be hosting, well, it's my turn. I will be hosting the Blockbuster Watch Along situation. That will be strictly behind paywall. I cannot wait to get into soul food, especially with us. We're going to get into soul food with some fools on this panel. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous, and I really don't want anybody to miss us maxing it behind paywall. I could be reckless. We cannot give a damn. Yeah, that's going to stay there. We're going to keep whatever said behind that paywall. But be there for that Saturday and tune in and get that membership to join us with that. And of course, Sunday, I believe we're getting into Fight Night still, episode 4, and whatever else is coming. And then Mondays will always be for Insecure. Be there for that, season 1, episodes 3 and 4. Be there for that and be there to support us, please. We look forward to seeing you. Get a membership.
Yes. Subscribe, get those memberships. We got more foolishness coming. This Friday is a Friday the 13th. So I will be going live to talk about my top 5 Friday the 13th movies. Jason Voorhees fans, hop on this live with me. I want to know your favorite Jason movies. And let's talk about Friday the 13th for a little bit. Friday afternoon, we got to celebrate, turn up for your boy Jason Voorhees. Tomorrow, we coming back to talk about Bel-Air, Will and Them. Thursday, Bel-Air, Friday, Reasonable Doubt, Saturday, Killer Con, Sunday, Fight Night, Monday, Insecure. Y'all, we busy over here. We bringing y'all some stuff. And Saturday, we got that members only Blockbuster night. Okay, y'all are going to be able to watch. We are doing a watch along with this. Okay, y'all will get a chance to watch us in real time go through these movies. So you have to be a member to do that. It's going to be hilarious. And of course, the Fine Men Fridays right after Reasonable Doubt. Yes. Y'all, we stick along with us. It is spooky season, so expect a lot more horror content coming to you guys. And they're gonna be a part of some of them. I'm dragging Ashley by her ears down the lane of horror. They're gonna be better than this though. This don't even count. Y'all can't even take this one seriously. It's gonna be some real stuff coming, like for real. So y'all stick around. And thank you all for joining us. We had over 100+ people in the chat, and I appreciate you all for joining us tonight. We will be back again and again and again. Thank you all so much for the members, the super chats, all that, and we'll see y'all again tomorrow night.
Good night.
For me, it's only you. I want it done with what you're going through. I wanna be done.